It has been raining all week long, which is pretty typical of San Francisco December weather. So for this winter edition of this Golden Gate series, we're taking it all indoors and hitting two of the most beloved museums in the city. Today we are visiting the California Academy of Sciences and the DeYoung Museum. Luckily, both of them are located in the music concourse facing each other, so we don't have to travel too far in this miserable weather. We're going to start out at the Academy of Sciences, which is by far the most popular family museum in the city. It's also one of the biggest natural history museums in the U.S., with over 46 million species of plants and animals. The first building was located at California and Grant in Chinatown until it was wiped out by the big earthquake of 1906. It was then relocated here to Golden Gate Park. The buildings were damaged again in the '89 Loma Prieta earthquake, and this new third set of buildings are the epitome of eco-design. The structure is made of recycled concrete and steel, the insulation of recycled denim, and 90% of the lighting is natural. The entry fee is a little bit on the expensive side. It's anywhere from between $30 to $40 per day per adult. It's a variable fee depending on the day of the week. Obviously, midweek it's cheaper, and then on the weekends and during holidays it's much more expensive. But there are plenty of discounts out there, including advanced online purchase and AAA, so do some couponing. Oh, and on Thursdays there's a 21 and over night at the museum with cocktails and a band. You get full access to the exhibits, and the admission is only $15. Pro tip, if you want a little bit of peace and quiet from the school kids, this is the way to go. But the crowning jewel is the museum's living roof, a 2.5-acre habitat of plants, birds, and insects. And you can come up here and explore. The green roof is also great insulation and helps to reduce the building's CO2 emissions from all of us visitors down there. And all throughout there's also a rainwater capture system, which then the museum uses for any of their freshwater needs, as well as solar powered.
Usually visitors are limited to the observation deck, but sign up for a VIP tour to get a more extensive walkthrough.
The museum is pretty big and it's going to take you all day to explore it. But if you don't have time, here are my highlights.
Number 1, the Osher Rainforest Biome. There's always a huge line for this one, so hit it at the beginning of the day. The biome completely recreates a tropical rainforest environment. There's a ramp that spirals up 4 floors so you can see everything from the forest floor to the canopy, including birds, insects, river life, and exotic blooms. I love that the butterflies are floating around free and you can get all close up and personal. There's even a cool exhibit at the end showcasing the huge variety of butterfly chrysalis. Number 2, Claude, the albino alligator. Upon exiting the biome, you descend into the bowels of the Academy of Sciences and into the heart of the Steinhardt Aquarium. While there is no end to the neat interactive exhibits like the underwater tunnel, the jellyfish, and the starfish petting zoo, the star is definitely Claude, the unofficial mascot of the museum. He's a super rare albino alligator. His pen is smack dab in the middle of the building between the biome and the planetarium and behind the solarium. Number 3, the African penguin exhibit. This exhibit is tucked pretty out of the way in the Kimball Natural Museum's African Hall with all the old-timey still life exhibits. I feel like I'm in Night at the Museum. But it's totally worth hunting out as these guys are super cute and hugely popular with the crowds. They love kids and will come out to play whenever the little people are around. Come at 10:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the penguin feedings and biologist talks. Number 4, the Morrison Planetarium. At the end of the day, when your feet are sore and you need a dark, quiet place to kick it, hit up the planetarium. This is also super popular, so get here early to grab your tickets first, then explore the rest of the Academy while you wait for the show to start. It's got a 75-foot nano-scene projection dome that shows virtual movies. They've usually got a couple of different ones on rotation, so maybe cycle through a few times for a double billing. And finally, number 5, Santa's Reindeer. Only during the winter, Santa's reindeer make a pit stop at the Academy where magic meets science. Once the holidays are over, though, they head back to the North Pole for the rest of the year.
You got your second win? Are you ready for more museum? Let's head across the concourse. One of the oldest and best fine arts museums in San Francisco is located right here in Golden Gate Park. It's a great place to spend a day in the park when it's chilly and cold outside. The DeYoung was established in 1895 during an international exposition as the Fine Arts Exhibition Hall. The original building had all of these Egyptian motifs on it, and it really only lasted for about 12 years until the Great Earthquake. It almost died right there, but it had a champion. Michael DeYoung, who was the owner of a local newspaper called the Daily Dramatic Chronicle. He designed it, built it, financed it, and even donated a part of his art collection to it. And that's why the museum is named after him, the DeYoung. His building lasted about 70 years until the huge '89 Loma Prieta earthquake, which also wiped out the Bay Bridge. About 20 years ago, they tore down that old building and built this newer, more modern structure. Surprisingly, the locals did not want the museum in this park, and so as a compromise, the architects designed this to blend. It's got these perforated exteriors, big cutouts in the building so that you could see the trees and greeneries behind it, and this copper color will patina into a beautiful green color as it ages. Wait, oh my God, this building also has earthquake damage. Just kidding. This is a piece by environmental artist Andy Goldsworthy called Faultline and was inspired by California's tectonic activity. This earthquake crack starts on the sidewalk in front of the museum, leads up the walkway, through the courtyard, cleaving through all of these stones, which, handily enough, double as seating benches, and leads right up to the entrance of the museum. The admission is $15 per adult, but there are tons of ways to get in for free. First, be under 17. If you're an SF resident, you can come for free on Saturdays, and for the general public, there's free admission the first Tuesday of every month. Those with SNAP benefits, have a California library card, and Bank of America customers can get in on the first weekend of every month. Note that the free admission only applies to the permanent collection, and they still charge you to get into these special exhibits. Here's a cool little secret about the museum that not even a lot of locals know about. On the 9th floor is an indoor observation deck with 360-degree views of the park and the city. And you don't even need to pay admission for the museum to get up there. Elevators to the Harmon Observation Tower are to the right of the main museum entrance, back behind the ticket desk. They're right next to the Ruth Asawa pieces. If you don't know who Ruth Asawa is, she's a famous local artist who's designed, among other things, the San Francisco Fountain in the courtyard of Apple Union Square, as well as Seaward Slides. The building actually had an old bell tower, and when they were designing this new building, the board wanted one to match it. Of course, all the locals hated the idea, but eventually it got built and now everyone loves it. The new tower actually kind of looks like an upside-down triangle. Pro tip, the observation tower closes about an hour earlier than the museum, so time it correctly. Okay, I do realize it's the middle of winter, but there's never a bad time for ice cream. After your visit to the museums, pop behind Cal Academy for some Twirl and Dip ice cream. Twirl and Dip only does organic soft serve ice cream, which you can either have plain with any of their awesome sauces, syrups, crumbled homemade candies or baked goods, or the ultimate old-fashioned chocolate dip cone, which I'm gonna get, and you get to put toppings on top of that. They basically have two flavors, vanilla or chocolate, made with chocolate from Cho Chocolatier, and you can either get one flavor or two swirl. If you're vegan, you could get this Pop Nation popsicle or this frozen banana dipped in dark chocolate. Check this out. This is a chocolate dipped swirled ice cream with a homemade honeycomb candy topping. Looks delish. This is like a piece of art. Looks almost too good to eat. Crunchy, super divinely chocolatey shell, and the inside ice cream is so soft and creamy. And I love these honeycomb candies. It's like this concentrated honey flavor, and the texture is light yet crunchy at the same time. The real challenge is trying to eat this without losing one of these honeycomb pieces. All right, time to head home now. Thanks for joining me today at my day at the museums. Hope to check you next time, and until then, peace. If that information was valuable to you, please help me make it available to more people. Subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button down below, or like the video by hitting the thumbs up icon. Thanks so much.